Hey, good afternoon. Um, so I wanted to discuss something. Um, it is very clear that Trump is underwater. And I don't know about y'all, but I take so much joy in this. I am not a Republican. I am not a Democrat. I am an independent. I like to think independently for myself. I don't agree with everything the Democrats are doing, and I certainly don't agree with everything the Republicans are doing. That being said, I pride myself on being able to think independently for myself. Finally, it seems like Trump's approval ratings are in the negative, like underwater. From CBS, not CBS, sorry. CBS is bought out by Barry Weiss, who wants to make it another right wing, media thing. Um, but by NBC, and Fox News and Newsmax both, which I'm sure y'all know are both, far right news organizations. Anyway, that being said, I think people are finally waking up to his bullshit. People don't like that he's stealing. You know, you're not supposed to make money as a president, but Trump is so arrogant that he thinks he can literally get away with anything because he has yet to suffer any repercussions for all the dirt he's done. Everybody just says, oh, well, that's Trump, Y'all knew what you were going to get reelecting him. You knew what was going to happen when he was reelected. Ba, 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 ba. And I got to say, I'm guilty of not voting this last election because I was one of those people that thought for the longest time my vote's not going to matter. When it comes to the Electoral College, they're the ones that hold all the power. But with all that's happened since he's taken office, I will tell you this. I am damn sure gonna vote this year. I don't care if ICE is out there at all the, spots where to go and vote. They're not gonna intimidate me. I am homegrown, born and raised in the US of A in Chicago, Illinois, and they don't scare me. I am a woman of conviction and I will go down for what I believe in. I'm not like um, a lot of these Republicans and several Democrats that flip flop. But one thing I really would like you guys to help me out on is what did these people, these MAGA fanatics, find attractive about this man from the get go? Like, really? I always knew he was a joke. You know how they say everyone has like a sixth sense? Mine has always been like I'm a pretty good judge of character. And I could tell, like, way back in the day, in the 90s, that Trump was a fool. He's like the richest, yet cheapest looking motherfucker I've ever seen. And he is not only ugly on the outside, but he's ugly on the inside. And I think finally people, even the MAGA base, are starting to question, you know, what he's doing. They're finally starting to see the light. All the money he's stealing, how he surrounds himself with all these yes men so he can live in this alternate reality, thinking that he's the best president to ever have lived and blah, 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 woo, woo. And it's bullshit. I think Pam Bondi embarrassed the shit out of him because, like, this one journalist said, and he's a Republican, mind you, but he's like, Pam Bondi was a complete embarrassment. Either she's just covering up for him or it's blatant incompetence. Either way, it's a freaking joke. because you are only as strong as your enemies, you know? And if Trump surrounds himself with nothing but yes men, that's a sign that he really is just as weak as I've always known him to be. But he masquerades the weak man inside with all the money and power that he's accumulated. And that gives him this false false sense of like masculinity when really he ain't shit. And I've always known it. Like, and I get into arguments with my family all about it all the time. I don't get it. I don't get how I can share blood with these people and how they don't see what a fool he is. He is, was, and always will be a douchebag. Like, straight up. Come on. He was on that Access Hollywood bus with Billy Bush, what, back in like 2010, 2012, something like that, where he was talking about how, yeah, beautiful women, they like to let me just kiss them and grab them by the pussy, because I'm a celebrity, I can do whatever I want. Then he went on to say how because he owns a pageant, I'm not sure if that was on the Access Hollywood bus or with Howard Stern. I think it was with Howard Stern. But he went on to say that because he's an owner of the pageant, they didn't let any men in the back where the women would get changed into their makeup and their hair. But Donald Trump, being the owner of the pageant, would go back there all the time and watch the women get dressed. And flirt with them, and I'm sure he touched them inappropriately. Yes, this is my opinion, it's not a fact, but come on, we all know Trump's a perv. Anyway, I just wanted to share my joy. I love that even his MAGA base is finally starting to come around and see the light. I know no one likes to admit they were wrong, and hopefully, you'll be welcome to the other party with open arms, because I certainly would. I'm not going to bash you for having believed in something, but Trump was not ever the man that was going to turn this country around. He was a freaking reality show host. I mean, look at his freaking administration. He hires them based on their looks, not their qualifications. Freaking Pete Hegseth was a host for Fox and Friends in the morning. And then he's leading the freaking Pentagon? Are you freaking kidding me? Kash Patel. The guy looks like he just took a massive hit of like super potent crack and took that picture. Like,